a special event today. Actually, hello, Carmen. How are you? It was really nice to see you live.
I'm missing you already. I'm doing quite well, but I do miss you, Yasmina. Like,
I miss you too. But actually, what's happening because we are here on a Friday, and
ooh.
for those who doesn't know, we actually have a special guest, and we are going to talk about a special event so about related to esports. But first, we have to introduce each other. Carmen.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm a host interview in Casa. I've been at several events mainly related to League of Legends and Wild Rift.
And I am an intellectual property lawyer. And actually, you are not here for me. You are here for actually our guest. And hello, Sam. Thank you so much for
Hello,
coming.
pleasure. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
Good, good. It
Mhm.
was really nice to have you. But actually, we have to let you introduce our audience. So, Sam, who are you?
Who am I? Good question. Yeah, Sam Cooke. I'm the MD and co-founder of Esports Insider. We're based over in London, and we're an esports business-focused media outfit,
Mhm.
yeah, media company, events company, and agency as well.
Okay, so Esports Insider, I think it's widely known within the industry. At least I've heard about it 1,000 times before this. So it's a pleasure to have you here as well because of that. But I want to ask you because you've got several events throughout the year. There's
Mm,
one that is coming up on the 8th and 9th of November, if I'm not mistaken, which is
indeed.
one of the biggest ones. So could you tell us what it is about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so it's been quite a while since our last major event. We've been hosting recently a few breakfast club events, which we've done
Oh.
locally here in London, and an esports and gaming bar called Platform. But these are much smaller and by invitation only events, like 30 to 40 people. ESI London, meanwhile, which is next week at Box Park, Wembley, that is our big flagship conference. So that will be where we've surpassed 400 attendees today. So that will be 400 and something people across the 2 days. And it includes a conference track on both days with, I think we're on about 70 something speakers across the sessions,
Mhm.
sessions covering all sorts of topics from investment through to commercialization, through to diversity, to betting and so on. All kind of topics that relate to the business of esports and the growth of this industry. So yeah, it's our flagship event, which we've been running for a few years. But the last time we hosted a big event was just over 2 years ago now. So yeah, it's been a while. Hopefully we're not too rusty.
And actually related with that, because how is it to start again in a major again and actually not one that we can see each other faces and
Yeah.
actually to network, but not in front of a, a computer, but actually in person.
Hmm. Yeah, not having to worry about lag or being on mute or whatever, right? It feels good. Yeah, I mean, we're very excited to get back. In 2020, we had, I believe, 9 international events in total planned, and everywhere from New York through to events out in Asia, throughout Europe as well, in Stockholm, in London, and more. So all of those, obviously, COVID put paid to all of those. We switched to the online model, the digital events, and they've been good. The ESI Digital series have been really good. They've done better than I initially expected, to be honest with you. Like the platform we've used and the way we've built up our events, um, to do just 3 throughout the year. So we've had ESI Digital Spring, Summer, and Winter will be online only in December. We focus a lot on the content. We focused a lot on finding the right application and platform for it to best facilitate the digital networking and deliver the best kind of most unique online experience we can for these B2B events. But I think the long and short of it is everyone is itching to get back to the in-person ones, right? That's for sure. Like that's been proven, in our opinion, at least, by the take up of the attendance of our breakfast clubs, which I mentioned, and now the ticket sales and general attendance of our ESI London event next week. I mean, I think there's definitely, for new contacts and like new connections, like this kind of thing is great, right? And it's international and you can chat to anyone. But I think to make really meaningful, memorable connections, that nothing beats in person. And yeah, we're pretty proud of the event the team at ESI has put together. In terms of networking options, we're doing that a little bit differently, that's for sure. And the venue, Box Park, Wembley, if anyone's been, they'll know what that venue has to offer. Like everything from axe throwing through to VR gaming through to karaoke, all sorts.
Oh my God. Do you hear it, Carmen? Karaoke, please, please. Well, you're not there.
I want to experience that as well. And I also found it very interesting that you've decided to change a little bit the format of networking. We used to just tables sitting around and just talking to each other in a very formal way. But by introducing this new style of networking, which allows you to interact in a more, in a more distended way, I want to ask you, why did you decide to switch to this other way? Like, did you talk about it within your group and be like, hey, I would like to enjoy this kind of event? Did you do some surveys? How did you come to plan this?
Yeah, good question. It was mainly internal for sure, and like speaking to our partners and such about the type of event they would like to see. I think people, the esports as an industry it's an entertainment industry, right? At the end of the day, which means that it's, I think, a little bit more laid back, if you will, than some other shirt and tie type only industries, right? This is not to say we don't have that kind of offering as well. Like we've got the 3 networking zones throughout the 2 days where people can have those. We've got the networking lounge downstairs, which is for those private, all important sit down, shake hands meetings for sure. And we've got the other 2 spaces to have a drink, whether that's a coffee, a beer, a wine, whatever, and have a sit down and mingle and just have a drink and have some food and chat for the normal meetings. That's all included, and that's still vital, right? Of course it is, to these type of conferences and delivering the most out of them. But we want ESI London to be an event that people remember for it being ESI London and not just any other conference. And that's a big reason we selected the venue we did. That's a big reason that we chose this space with these networking options. We want to have something for everybody and something that people enjoy. And like networking, it can be weird, right? Like they're going up to someone and being like, hello, this is what I do. Some people don't like it, and it's understandable. I'll chat for ages, so I'm all right with it. But I get that some people, it's not their cup of tea. Maybe it makes them a bit uncomfortable. We have the VR gaming space where you can go and sign up and like play the game with other people. Like that's a great icebreaker, right? Like a great way to meet. We have the axe throwing. Like I've personally not tried it and I'm a bit nervous, but we have the axe throwing social sponsored by Hot Drop in the evening, where like very nice, welcoming environment. You can go along, throw some axes. Like same as on the Monday evening, the pop golf. We have the karaoke later. Like all these things. The point of them is that it's a business event, yeah, but that doesn't mean it can't be good fun. And ultimately, like esports as an industry needs, so like it's growing fast, right? And it's professionalizing fast. But I think it's important to bring people together still. And I think these networking activities are, I guess, even more powerful when, as I say, like people are still getting back to in-person events, right? And I assure you there'll be more than one like awkward, do you fist bump, do you shake hands, what do we do? 100%. Like it's weird, people don't know how to meet new people anymore because it's been so long. And so we're conscious of that, and these networking activities, I guess, are somewhat a solution to help make that fun and like natural and nice for everyone.
I mean, I think when we are trying to do networking, we have to look really professional and really put together and like very serious event. But I think this just makes it a lot more entertaining and a possibility to show the way we really are and what we can truly offer. So I find it very interesting. I wish I could attend it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Like next year for sure.
Next year, I hope so. And in the next year, maybe you have more activities and increase more things. But don't be nervous. Probably you're going to do it perfectly with the ace. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Maybe you are going to inside one part of you that didn't know. And
we'll see. There's a few big talk. Claire at Team Liquid's really up for it. Chris Kizak at Isle of Man. think she saw
Oh,
that with the axe throwing. So we'll see. We'll find out on the night.
I have to say, I've seen some axes bouncing back, so careful with that one,
Yeah.
just in case.
Just in case, a few steps
Yeah, I might
behind.
sit outside. I might sit outside.
But also, actually, you talk about the networking, all the activities that you're planning, but I would like to know a little bit about what else it could be offering this event. Like there
Mm.
is something that you can spoil a little bit. I know this is going to occur next week, but if you can say something here, an exclusive.
Yeah, of course. I mean, so at the event itself, we'll have an esports and brands workshop as well with Sport 5. We're definitely looking to do more of those. And the idea of the brands workshop is it's an event within an event, so to speak, and that will be a bit of a different format from the main conference room, where there'll be sessions on throughout both days, as mentioned, on various topics and various different speakers, from ASOS to McLaren to Fnatic. But the brands workshop with Sport 5 is much, the idea of it is for brands, whether that is brands themselves, football clubs, the bookmakers, sports organizations, but general brands, so to speak, that are new or new-ish to the esports space. And this workshop is an opportunity for them to understand what the esports landscape is made up of, like what it offers, what other brands have done, like what's worked and maybe what hasn't worked. And also it will be much more of an open forum. So there'll be a presentation from the team at Sport 5 about the KitKat case study, actually, which was really cool. Yeah, but after that, there'll be as I say, open forum, open format round table for people to ask questions. And it's like, it's a no stupid questions situation, right? Like we need these, like, what is League of Legends? I don't know. We need these brands and organizations involved and educated in the right way. So yeah, that the workshop is something new that we're doing. The appetite for it has been really good. The uptake has been brilliant. A fair few big name football clubs coming along through to major brands as well. So we'll be doing more of those workshops for sure. And yeah, I can't announce anything about next year yet, but we will have 4 major events around the globe that we'll be announcing as our majors series, which will be our 2 to 3 day conferences throughout 2022.
Wow.
So I've got a little bit of I know there are no stupid questions, but I need to ask this.
Okay.
Can you eat during the conferences?
Yeah, by all means. That the food bit, as I said on our pre-chat before this interview, the food is another reason, why we chose Box Park. Like there's, I think 25 odd food vendors downstairs, like all different pop-ups. There's a bubble tea place, there's a like a barbecue ribs place, there's pizza, there's
Are you serious?
the food is really good. Yeah, there's all sorts there, like sushi as well. And that's one of the reasons we chose it. So rather than, and all the attendees will get breakfast, lunch and dinner, rather than it being, like, I've been to a lot of these conferences and I get it, like we've done it in the past. It's lunchtime and everyone queues up and you choose one option, like option A or option B. Right? And I get that because like most venues don't have what Box Park has to offer. But that's one of the reasons we chose Box Park again, is the food and drink option is really good. So everyone will get vouchers on day one. And yeah, they can choose whatever they want. For breakfast is buffet, but for lunch and dinner, they'll be able to choose any options they want. And yeah, if you want to eat it whilst watching McLaren talk about sim racing, like, be my guest by all means.
I think as an attendee, Yasmina and I have experienced that as well, like, and everyone in general, when you've got so many conferences to attend one after the other and you don't really have the time to go grab some food, then if you don't want to miss a conference, then there is no eating until the lunch break.
That's true.
Yeah.
Really appreciated that you've thought about that too. I know.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a formal lunch time, but people have, like, if you want to grab your food before that, you can, right? It's up to you, like plan your own day and such. Yeah, that was another.
That's great. Actually, I think maybe Sun is going to think about us like we love food.
I mean, I kind of do.
When we finish this interview.
Right? I'm already thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner now.
And by the way, I would like to ask as well, like,
Mm.
can you tell us anything that Esports Insider are maybe planning to say in the event? You can spoil something, or maybe we will have to
Oh.
see in the event.
Any announcements that will be made during the event? Sorry.
I mean, you've told us
Oh,
about the majors, but
We've got another on our media site. So like
okay.
during COVID, right? ESI pre-COVID rather, our business was very, very reliant in terms of revenue channels on the in-person events, which is why when that happened, it was quite scary for the business. But I mean, long story short, we didn't furlough anyone, we didn't let anyone go. The team, both full-time and freelance, has grown quite considerably now in the past 6 months to a year. So things are going well, and that the events are coming back, which is very important. And as I say, we'll have that announcement on Monday about our major events for 2022. But in addition, we've focused a lot on growing, professionalizing the other arms, the other two key arms of the company, which are media and Connect, which is just another snazzy name for our agency arm. And both of those have been doing well and like growing well, and we've been hiring and growing those teams. But one of the announcements we'll have next week will be concerning 4 new newsletters, which we'll be releasing quite soon as well. So yeah, we've got our media side now has the Esports Journal in Spanish, run by LMG, Lete Media Group over in Buenos Aires, and we run the English language edition. So that's the print and digital format magazine. Presently, we have 2 podcasts as well, and we have just the one newsletter, which the Dispatch, which goes out Tuesdays and Fridays. But yeah, we will announce next week our new, more targeted newsletters, which are esports and certain topics. But yeah, that's there. I'll leave to you for that. But yeah, that'll be another of the announcements next week.
You have to
okay.
attend the meeting, or maybe see it in your social media in order to see what they're all the
Sure.
biggest announcements.
Sure.
Sorry.
I mean, I also want to go back to the topic of conferences because I'm still thinking about it, and I wanted to know, how do you plan these conferences? Do you choose like a theme for each event? Like this event is going to be focusing around, I know, NFTs or something. I know you do have one about it, but I think you've have a wide range of topics to be covered. So how do you plan this? How do you get in touch with people? And I mean, just tell us a little bit of the inside process.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean the content has definitely, I think, been how we've always set ourselves apart from other conferences and other similar business events, right? Like we, due to the existence of the website and the nature of the business more broadly, esports is our everyday, right? And we hear about pretty much every story or try to worldwide that concerns the industry. So I think with that, the team generally, there's a lot of ideas about what topics are trending, but also what themes are of interest, like what's going on. We do our ESI brand showcases, which are presentations of successful rights holder and brand partnerships in the space. And obviously we hear about all of these different types of brands entering due to the site. So we've always got a good idea about which ones to invite along, and whether that's Kia or KitKat or Ralph Lauren or whoever, right? So that's I guess that helps in terms of the formation of our content and the formation of the agendas for our events as well. We do try to differentiate them as well and make sure each event is a little bit focused a little bit differently. For London, for example, we have a few tracks. Day one, the track is the dotted line, which is about commercialization and revenue growth. So panels and presentations accordingly. The afternoon is around investment. So it's called Angels and Unicorns, and that is an investment focused track. Day two, we have diversity and community, and we have in play, which is our esports betting focused track as well. So that's ESI London. I guess similarly but separately for ESI Digital Winter, which is the online one on the 1st and 2nd of December. the tracks are esports growth around the world. So looking at esports in different countries and in different regions and such, and also emerging and contender esports. So we've a couple of irons in the fire there, but there will be talks about, like, everyone talks about esports generally, right? Like mainstream media especially is, I think I understand it, but like somewhat at fault for this, like treating esports as one entity when it isn't. It's numerous different ecosystems. Like the size of the CSGO ecosystem differs wildly to Rocket League, to League of Legends, and so on. So this emerging / contender esports ecosystems track will look at some of those like tier 2, if you want to call it that, like some of those esports titles and ecosystems that definitely still make up and are a key part of the world of esports, but that aren't League of Legends, right? They're not CSGO, they're not Dota, etc. But yeah, some of the smaller ones, so to speak. So yeah, that's I guess a bit of an insight, I hope, into how we put together the sessions. But always down to chat to anyone like listening, or to yourselves about ideas. Like we're always keen to collaborate. We work quite closely with a lot of our strategic partners as well, from Swipe Right PR to NSE. The game has will be doing something with around diversity and such for Digital Winter as well. So yeah, always down to chat for sure.
Okay, cool. I mean, it's interesting seeing how all of this is built, all this little bit of a, I mean, when you're at this type of event, you feel like you're in a little bit of a bubble, because for 2 days you're interacting with people from the industry almost non-stop. So it's really nice that you've decided to focus all these different things in such a way that people can choose what they want to do at every time. Just like with eating, I know it sounds repetitive, but it's quite important, because when we go to these events, we always see people with the computers around trying to have meetings and a little bit all over the place. I know you do have a place to sit down and, sort of business stuff if you need to. So that's also quite cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's it. As we say, like, we want it to be a professional vibe, right? For sure. But also, like, it's laid back and it's friendly and it's welcoming. And I think that's esports as an industry can sometimes be a little bit at fault for that it's not too welcoming to new brands or new organizations for a variety of reasons. And one often being that a lot of the titles and ecosystems and such are pretty hard to understand, right? we try and make these events as friendly and as welcoming as possible to allow like new blood into the industry, whether that's investment or media or brands or whoever else.
Interesting here. Wait,
Yes.
I don't want to go. Next year, it's fine.
Next year, it'll be bigger next year as well.
We'll
Don't
see.
worry.
And one last question that I would like to make. Of course, you're telling us about the event, and actually, I feel the same as Carmen, that I want to go for sure.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I would like to know what you expect for this event. And we will see at the end if it was like that, if it fulfilled your expectation, or if it was greatest. But what do you expect from the next week?
Yes, good question. I mean, in terms of attendance, like we were quoting 350 to 400 attendees, right? So we've surpassed that already. So the team's done a fantastic job all round. So my ESI team is in putting this on and like getting this ready to go in a very condensed time frame as well. Like ordinarily for one of these major events, we would have 3 times the amount of time to build it, promote it and such, from announcement through to delivery. And for obvious reasons, COVID wise, that time was cut very short this year. So I think the event that we have in place that we've pulled together for next week is looking really, really good for the time we had and such, and what we originally conceived. So really pleased already. I guess, yeah, my hope from it is that people have a good time, that they get something out of it, and that they feel it was valuable attending, right? And like there's a lot of noise being made on Twitter and LinkedIn about it already, and it isn't happening yet. So yeah, like all the signs are there for a good event. And then for me, it's and for us, it's getting ready for next year, right? Like our ESI London event will be notably bigger than this year. Like this year will be 400 people plus, but next year will be notably larger.
Wow.
So you chose the right year to come. Don't worry, it will be even better next year, I promise. But,
Perfect, Iris.
yeah, we'll have the international events, which we'll reveal next week as well, and some of the locations for those. I'm personally very, very excited to get along. It's
Oh my
places I
God.
haven't been, so pretty
Okay,
good.
you haven't been to those
No, that's
places,
one
so
clue. But
no
yeah, take a
Lisbon.
lot. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, she's going to
Take a
start.
lot of digging.
Run away
Take a lot
now.
of digging.
Yes. Because maybe she's going to find out. She's a good detective, you know?
Yeah, I'll be impressed, to be honest. If you find out, you've earned it. But
I
Oh my God,
think I
just
know.
actually think about it.
yeah.
I think I know. I can. I think I do.
Maybe outdoors. Outdoors, we will speak about it.
Yeah, like once it ends, I will ask about it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
audience,
no.
we cannot tell you, but maybe it will be the privilege you want. Maybe I will tell you later, but well, thank you so much, Sam, for coming here.
Oh yeah.
Pleasure.
It has been really a pleasure to have you, and actually, I'm pretty excited for the next week. Of course, I'm not going to be there with Carmen, but I'm actually pretty excited what it means, what is going to be the event, and for sure, maybe we have more collaborations coming on for the next week, maybe. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being here. Please don't go. We are going to say goodbye to our audience. I will put you down, and then
Cool.
we will probably say goodbye.
Sounds good.
Because I
Thank you
know.
very much for having me.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Cheers, mate.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.
So it has been really nice to have you
Ah.
here, Carmen, and having Sam here. And actually, the event sounds so wonderful. I wanted to go, really.
Me too. I really love the format. I love what they are trying to bring here. A little bit of like a formal and also entertaining.
Yes.
The different areas that they've set up. I think those are just amazing and really taking into account the needs of the public. So a plus point for them for doing that. I definitely want to go. And also, who doesn't want to relax while throwing axes? I mean, that sounds pretty
That sounds
entertaining.
pretty a good way to relax yourself and have laugh
Yeah.
about it. And that will be wonderful. But of course, we will come to next week. We have a program on Monday, but we are
Yes.
going to have more things coming up as well for the next week. Please remember that tomorrow we were going to have the program with workers. You can see them because on Tuesday they couldn't arrive. But please send them the love. And it has been really nice to see you, Carmen. Again, we see the next week, but I always miss you.
It's just 3 days. 3 days and we see each other again.
Yes,
It's no big
and
deal.
we have a wonderful weekend. Please, guys, as well,
Okay.
have a wonderful weekend. Go out. Please don't work. You have to relax yourself. And we will see each other the next week for more information and follow us.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.